to do this is because it is so important that we understand. We've talked about us being the living legacy of the MFT 52 years ago. Our brave, what would we call it? The folks who came before us.
Predecessors.
Our predecessors, thank you. I haven't hit that coffee yet. Our brave predecessors who had the courage, who had the bravery, the determination to stick together, and they changed this state. I don't know if folks saw the NPR article about the Minnesota Miracle and how school funding became more equitable across this state, how workers in the public sector gained the right to organize in a union and take these actions legally to exercise our power. Our affiliation with the American Federation of Teachers, with Education Minnesota, with the NEA, helps make us more powerful. And Randy's going to talk a little bit about that and make an announcement that is so important to our effort. So without further ado, Randi Weingarten, our champion.
Thank you, Randy. So, Randy, I know you're not from here, but we call this the Minnesota Podium.
I love this.
Step on up.
Okay, I'm on the Minnesota podium. So, you know, one day longer, one day stronger is not just a slogan. It is a dead serious expression when one is fighting the man. And in some ways, right now, as Sean said earlier, no one should have to strike in a situation where we have a president who just gave the country billions of dollars for academic, social, and emotional recovery. No one should have to strike about that. No one should have to strike in the aftermath of that. No one should have to strike when Minnesota has a $9 billion surplus. All the things that you've put on the table, and I just heard Greta eloquently talk to Fox about them. A living wage for ESPs. Competitive salaries, particularly so we don't lose Black and brown teachers. Woo! And the conditions that you need to help students. Think about it. Social, emotional, and academic recovery requires lower class sizes, mental health supports, and caseload supports. I mean, it's not rocket science here. You're asking for the things that kids need to thrive and that you need to do your jobs and to be able to live in Minneapolis. This is not rocket science, but it is, let me use another word, a righteous fight. Because the fact that it wasn't done, the fact that you had these people, Maggie and the other guy, who kept on stopping, who wanted power instead of listening to your voices. That's why you're on the street. That's why a strike was necessary. That's why a strike is righteous. And unfortunately, and I speak as someone who, as I was growing up, my mom was on strike for 6 weeks in New York, where there was a different law, not as good a law as here, and my mom lost 2 days' pay for every day she was on strike. So when I say one day longer, one day stronger, I lived one day longer, one day stronger. And ultimately, what was needed at that moment was not just the solidarity and the community of each other, which you all have, and it is incredible. But what's also needed is making sure that your national unions and your state union, I'm so glad that Denise is here, do everything we can to support you because you're the front line right now. And so we talked to Greta and Sean a couple of days ago, and we are putting into your strike fund $100,000. Now, we're not telling the leaders or you how to use it, obviously, but Sean and Greta have an amazing way in terms of the gas cards and the grocery cards and things like that. But we knew 9 days into this, we had to find a way that people went into the weekend knowing that they could pay for gas and they could pay for food. And so we wanted to be here today on a line, not in a press conference, announcing it and basically saying and showing our gratitude, my gratitude to you, because this is how democracy changes. This is how public education, this is how democracy changes. This is how public education changes. And this is how one utilizes the power of working people in solidarity to make this country and this city better. Where working people and kids of working people can thrive. Solidarity and one day longer.
One day stronger.
One day longer.
One day stronger.
Thank you.